This tutorial will show you how to set up and configure your web browser using Firefox. We'll also show you how to set up private browsing on Firefox so that when you do go browsing onto the web, it won't be able to save any of your history or your if you put in any passwords. Once you set up private browsing, none of that information should be saved to your browser for anybody who's nosy enough to try and go and look and see where you were browsing or where you went to afterwards. So let's begin. First, to go ahead and set up private browsing permanently on your browser, you go up to the top, you left click on Edit, go down to Preferences, left click on that. Then you go over to the tab that says Privacy. You make sure it says Firefox Will and choose Use Custom Settings for History. And then right here where it says Automatically Start Firefox in Private Browsing Sessions, just go ahead and click on that and come down to the bottom and you can click Close. And that will start your private browsing session, and every time you open up your browser you'll have private browsing. One thing that I usually do is I come down, instead of doing private browsing, I'll go to Edit, Preferences, then I'll start over here at the General tab, and you can usually put in your home page where it'll load up when the browser first comes up. Then where it says Downloads, I usually choose Show the Downloads window when downloading a file. And instead of Save Files To, which you can set it to automatically save in a folder that you want, I usually check Always Ask Me Where to Save the Files. That way I get to make the decision where I want to download the files to. That's just a personal preference. That's not something you need to do, but you can set it either way. Let's see, then you go over to the tabs, and I have these first four right here checked. Open new window in a new tab, warn me when closing multiple tabs, warn me when opening multiple tabs might slow down Firefox, and always show the tab bar. Then I come over here to the content area. I always make sure that block pop-up windows is chosen, load images automatically, and enable JavaScript, because most websites will want you to enable JavaScript, or a good number of them will. The other thing is, if you want to change your fonts and colors, you come here to the Content tab, and this is where you change the sizes of the text in your browser. Okay. Then I come back over here to Privacy where we were earlier, and what I do is I choose Firefox Will, and I choose Use Custom Settings for History. Then I come down here and I choose Accept Cookies from Sites. Most sites won't allow you to go to them unless you do accept their cookies. That's just the way it is. And then accept third-party cookies. You also want to make sure that's checked. And then what I do is keep the cookies until, and then I choose, of course, until I close Firefox. Okay, and then you come here and it says clear cookies when Firefox closes. Come over here to the setting for that, left click on it. You want to make sure all of these options here are checked. Okay, that means whenever I'm done browsing with Firefox, it'll clear out my browsing history, download history, form and search history, cookies, cache, save passwords, offline website data, everything. I make sure that's chosen. And then down here where it says location bar, this is where you usually type in the address. It says when using the location bar suggest, and I have nothing. I don't want it to suggest anything, because if it starts suggesting anything, the websites that you were at before will show up, and I don't want that. I don't want nobody to see the history of where I've been before. And then let's see, you come over to security, and I got these three options checked. Warn me when sites try to install add-ons, block reported attack sites, and block reported web forgeries. I make sure all that is chosen. Okay. Now, with if you choose automatically start Firefox in private browsing section, I'm not sure it will delete all of your cookies when it closes. I don't think that it does. That's why instead of doing that, I just go ahead and manually choose to have my cookies deleted when I close Firefox and have my history deleted when I close Firefox. That usually works for me, and I don't have to put in private browsing session, but it's up to you. You can do further investigation and see if using private browsing actually does delete the cookies. I don't think so, but it's possible. In either case, that is the end of the tutorial for setting up your browser with Firefox for secured browsing. Now, before I go, also you should keep in mind, even though you're using private browsing, or even though you set up your settings the way we showed you earlier, that's not going to protect you from spyware or keyboard loggers or any type of Trojans or anything like that. You're still going to need to go through some extra steps to secure yourself from those types of violations. Um, Other than that, thank you very much for looking at this video. You have a good day.